hard work, dedication and a love for what you want to do, what else does it take to get that dream job? Is the degree just good enough along with all that we mentioned, or is work experience increasingly key to bagging the job of your dreams? Well, that's what we're looking at today, and that's our big face-off as we ask, is work experience key to success at work, at your profession, at your place of work? Well, Sukanya and Shrishti now with us. Thanks both so much for being with us. Shrishti, you think that yes, work experience is all important.
Yes.
Your time starts now. You have a minute. Why?
Okay. So work experience is important because most of the companies now, today, most of the companies ask you for the work experience first of all. Nobody sees which degree you hold. Yes, they see the bachelor's degree, but then you do not need to master something for getting the work experience. First, you need to get into the field of your work, and then you need to learn about more things, and then you would get a better package and a better job, your preferred dream job. And then professional, then now the second point is like the professional courses need money, and then you cannot rely on your parents for whole of your life. You need to manage yourself, you need to at least do the internships and get the stipend so that you can manage your own living, and so that you can follow the procedure of, you can do the degrees, you can get the degrees later on, but then first of all you need to earn for yourself, you need to get the money, get the saving for the studies, because even the loans are given, and these loans have different eligibility criteria, and these eligibility criteria are so much preferred for the reserved category people, and and maybe some backward classes people, and we do not get the
Right. Your time's up. So basically you're saying that it's all well, you need to start somewhere.
Yes.
You finish your degree and you start your work, get some experience somewhere, start that internship, get ready to get that dream job, and then you can keep studying.
Yes, correct.
Right. But Sukanya, you disagree. You think that it's always a good time to study even before you get that work experience?
Yeah, I believe, because education, it molds you. It makes you into a better person. And education is not isolated, because when you are educating yourself, when we are studying, we go to a college or a university and we find different kinds of people there. We find scholars who teach us and brilliant people who have seen through life, who have read so many books and everything. And as for money and scholarship, I believe more than experience, it matters how much dedication you show in your work, how much consistency you have in your scores and grades, because after some, when you look at it later on, you can identify the person based on what he achieved, what he or she achieved by the grades. You know, and as for money, scholarships and loans can be taken, and properly, very properly can be taken, and can be paid back with the proper educational degrees.
Right.
And as for studying later on, getting a job and studying later on, there are many courses which after a particular age, after a particular period of time, when you're so busy earning, you cannot study it again, because they don't have the age criteria.
So you're saying when you have the time, when you're young, when you're starting out, and perhaps there's not too much pressure, then this is the time to do it. But you know, there are all those who would sort of perhaps agree with her, Shrishti, and say that an education is not just about your grades, it's not just about preparing you for a job. It gives you sort of, it makes you an all-rounded person, you know, gives you all-round development. There's so much that it exposes you to. Can work experience really make up for all of that?
The all-round development lacks where you need the confidence, because you cannot get the confidence until and unless you work in your field. Once you get into the field and then you work there, you get the field work, and then finally you will get the confidence and you will get the dedication towards your work, because you love to do that work, because you are getting into it again and again, and then you are knowing more people about more people which are experienced in your field.
Right.
Now you do not need people from many fields.
Right.
You cannot be the jack of all. You need to be a king, and then for being a king, you need to be a king of one field.
Right.
For that, you need to learn from the experiences of your field people.
Right. I see what you're saying. So Kanya, how would you counter that? She's saying it's focused. You have more focus, you know, when you're sort of looking at people who are working in your environment, working in your field, and it's those kind of experiences you need to draw from. Especially, I would imagine that the focus here, of course, is to get that job.
No, as per the focus is concerned, I would say in this age of specialization, you need to have a particular degree, and you need to study further, because if we are talking about degrees, let me just add that in a particular degree, there are also many field works that are put into. And those field works and also the classroom work, which are very important, they build the confidence like anything, because at one point when a person has been working for 6-7 years in a particular company or an office and has been working only on the basis of the work experience, at one point when the person sees some new person, some new entry with a better qualification than the person is, the confidence would certainly go down.
And insecurity, you're saying, would set in.
Yes.
And if you have that grounding, that wouldn't happen.
That would never happen.
Tell me one thing, Shushi, there are all those who say that we've now become a society where the ultimate aim of education is employment, to get that dream job. Would you agree with that?
Yes, obviously all of us study just to earn. Nobody studies for the study's sake. Now, even if people do the research work, they need money. Even if I write a book, I need money. I need money out of it. Anywhere, if I don't get a job, I'll write something and I'll just go on publishing it, and then I need money. I need money from anywhere. For that, you need to first of all see, if you sit for personal interviews, right? In those interviews, you have 50 degrees, but those degrees won't count until and unless you are not able to speak your name. You are not able to speak about the field. You are not able to speak about your education.
Because they're checking out your confidence, they're checking out your personality.
The first thing, the personality is checked out, and the personality is developed once you start working. At least internships. I don't say ki stop this bachelor's degree and go for internship, go for works. But
you're saying finish your degree, finish your
no, you can do internships along with your degree.
Right.
And then afterwards you go for your this thing.
So Kanya, I don't see you doing that.
No, I would rather focus on my study, and I would rather get a degree first, a proper postgraduate, maybe PhD, and then I would go for work experience in that sense later on after I get my degrees. Because when I look at some very brilliant people, may the person be Amartya Sen or may the person be Rodney Hilton, they have gotten degrees. They are big scholars, and they have been completely focused on their field of study. And the confidence that they get is from the molding that they had in the college and university level, from the books they read. And the confidence might to some extent come by some work experience, but will never reach up to the level that can be reached with the education.
Right. So you're saying it gives you the kind of background, the kind of solid base that perhaps you can't. But for every example that you named, of course, there are all those who never finished school and still also reached great heights. So I think this is why this is such a passionate debate, because there are sort of strong views on both sides. But given a choice for you, Shrishti, are you interning alongside, or are you hoping to?
Yes, I'm interning along with it. I have 2 internships as of now, and I'm
Wow,
hoping
most
to
people
get
wouldn't
more.
manage one.
I'm hoping to get more internships.
And what do you see around you? Are most of your peers also following this path, or are more like Sukanya, who sort of want to study, make the most of it, get as much as you can right now?
The ratio is 1:1, I think,
I
because
see.
many people go for these opinions are different. Like
I
some
would
people,
imagine it's a very subjective issue.
yes, many people would go for internships first, or many people would focus on the classes. Classroom study is different. Quality and quantity studies are different. Quality studies needs you to just learn what you actually need to learn for your future, and quantity studies requires something that you need for your examination. And then if you do quality studies, you can do many things along with it.
Okay, I'm running out of time, but Sukanya, tell me, how did you, you've of course outlined all the reasons why you want to study further, why you want to get the kind of degrees, but for all those who are watching, who are still confused on what to do, what would you say?
I would say study as much as you can, because after a particular time you won't be able to, and gather as much knowledge as you can, because when we are getting into this threshold of undergrads and then post-graduation, we don't realize that the textbooks are not enough. For that particular subject, to study a particular subject, many different books and many different aspects of it are needed, and that we get from colleges and universities.
I'll give you the last word. Shrishti, wrap this for us.
See, most of the foreign universities also do this thing. If you want to get an admission into the MBA course of some foreign university, some London university, may it be Oxford or anything, you need to get a work experience. They require a work experience for you to study for the MBA thing. You cannot London is much more developed than India. since obviously they are doing this because this has a purpose. You need to get the work experience, then you need to go for the MBA thing.
Right.
And that's what I think.
So you're saying learn from all those universities out there who also put this kind of emphasis on work experience before you strike it off. And of course, your point, Sukanya, also very well taken, that those degrees are not just scraps of paper, not just bits of paper, but are proof of all that you have gained, all the knowledge that you have acquired. Clearly, this is a debate that can carry on and on, but I have to wrap it. Sukanya, Shrishti, thanks both so much for joining us.
Cell phones are a great way to stay in touch anytime, anywhere. But it's a tough call for many parents as to when to give their child one. I have with me Aarti Verma, who is the parent herself. Ma'am, thank you so much for talking to us. What do you think should be, are the pros and cons? Obviously, a cell phone ensures safety also, but it can also distract a child very, very easily. How should a parent be careful about all of these things?
See, first of all, we should see the mobile data usage. Everything is in our hands. Obviously, the parents, the children are not earning the money. We are the ones who are earning, and we fill their balances. So once we keep a check on all those things, and obviously once they have the Facebook accounts or anything, as parents also we have an access to it. So regular monitoring and counseling the children would surely help. It's your approach towards your children. It's not, they are not bad.
Okay, great.
It's just we need to be more
careful.
Yes, more careful.
That's the way to go.
That's the way to go. And it has got a merit, It's a communication tool.
Yeah.
We all are working. We come back late at home, maybe say 8 o'clock, and the children are alone at home, so they don't need a cell phone.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for those insights.